According to the United States government, these aircraft simply do not exist. Today, we're going to take a look at all of the Air Force's most secret or hush-hush black projects that they don't want you to know about. Everything from hypersonic fighter jets to some pretty crazy concepts like alien technology. Let's sneak a peek at these hidden projects before they disappear into the classified abyss. The first secret aircraft to undergo development at Area 51 was the U-2 spy plane. The U-2 achieved first flight on August 1, 1955 at the Nevada Test and Training Range, also known as Area 51. As this CIA article explains, the test pilot, Tony Livier, was taking the plane out on a dry lake bed to conduct high-speed taxiing tests when he suddenly found himself airborne. "I had no intentions whatsoever of flying," Livier later said. The U-2 went on to fly missions over the Soviet Union, Cuba, China, and other communist bloc countries during the Cold War. It's still in service and provides day and night high-altitude spy missions for those times when satellites are not fast enough. The Soviet Union's development of high-altitude surface-to-air missiles rendered the slow but high-flying U-2 vulnerable. In response, legendary aircraft designer Clarence Kelly Johnson developed the SR-71, a high-altitude, high-speed reconnaissance aircraft meant to outrun enemy air defenses. The SR-71 had a top speed of Mach 3.3 or 2,193 miles an hour. After more than 2 decades of service, the Air Force suspended SR-71 flights in 1989, ending the program entirely in the 1990s. Designer Lockheed and the Air Force treated the project with intense secrecy, and when still totally classified, the CIA recorded any hints that reporters, analysts, or civilian plane watchers might have as to the jet's existence. 2 years after Blackbird's first flight, President Lyndon Johnson would run for election in 1964, and to counter criticisms from Republican Senator Barry Goldwater, revealed the SR-71 during a speech on July 25th. In the 1970s, Area 51 saw the development of the nation's first stealth bomber, the F-117 Nighthawk, designed by Lockheed's Skunk Works and developed under the code name HAV Blue. With a faceted, diamond-like surface designed to reflect and disrupt radar beams, the F-117 could almost be mistaken for the boomerang-shaped UFOs that had been a fixture in the public imagination as far back as the 1940s. Though the futuristic, alien-looking aircraft first flew over Area 51 in June 1981, it wasn't publicly unveiled until late 1988, spending 7 years under wraps as one of the Pentagon's highest-value black projects, after bombing high-value targets across Baghdad to open Operation Desert Storm in early 1991. The F-117 served U.S. forces in Afghanistan and again in Iraq before it was retired in 2008. However, an unknown number are still flying. But now it's time to look at those aircraft that have never been publicly revealed, but potentially might be real. The first in this list, we have SR-72, Son of the Blackbird. The SR-72 was first announced in 2007 when various sources reported that Lockheed Martin was developing a new superfast aircraft. Reported as being designed to top out at over Mach 6, the unnamed craft was to be developed for potential purchase by the United States Air Force. Nothing concrete has since been disclosed, but some concept art and other compelling details have leaked over the years. Despite the rumors and leaks, the USAF has never officially confirmed or denied that Lockheed Martin has approached it about the craft. It is also not yet clear if Lockheed Martin has been given an official go-ahead by the USAF to complete a prototype for consideration. However, Lockheed Martin has announced they are working on the SR-72 project, with a prototype expected to fly very soon. According to information provided to Aviation Week, one such technology demonstrator, believed to be an unmanned subscale aircraft, was observed flying into the U.S. Air Force's Plant 42 at Palmdale, where Skunk Works is headquartered. The vehicle, which was noted landing in the early hours at an unspecified date in late July, was seen with 2 T-38 escorts. Lockheed Martin declined to comment directly on the sighting. In addition to the sighting, Orlando Carvalho, Executive Vice President of Aeronautics at Lockheed Martin, alluded to the SR-72 program at this week's SAE International Aerotech Congress and Exhibition in Fort Worth, Texas. Although I can't go into specifics, let us just say the Skunk Works team in Palmdale, California, is doubling down on our commitment to speed, he said, as reported by Aviation Week. Carvalho went on to say, "Hypersonics is like stealth. It is a disruptive technology and will enable various platforms to operate at 2 to 3 times the speed of the Blackbird. Security classification guidance will only allow us to say the speed is greater than Mach 5. As in the case with SR-71 and other classified military aircraft development, it has historically been the case that systems and flight testing begin years before details of the program are made public. The fact that Skunk Works is letting some information slip about the SR-72 program, combined with the possible subscale demonstrator sighting in Palmdale, suggests the Blackbird's hypersonic successor could only be a matter of time. But if you think the SR-72 was wild, wait till you hear about the SR-91 Aurora. Rumored to have been developed in the 1980s or 1990s, the SR-91 Aurora is purported to be a Mach 5+ hypersonic, clandestine high-altitude intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance aircraft for the United States. Designed to replace the aging SR-71 Blackbird, the Aurora is believed by many to have been developed at Lockheed's Skunk Works. Nevertheless, U.S. officials have never officially confirmed or denied its existence. However, some interesting snippets of information may indeed appear to confirm the existence of the SR-91. One of the few official ones, as Defense Aviation reports, is a 2006 British Ministry of Defense report that makes mention of the USAF's priority plans to produce a Mach 4 to 6 highly supersonic vehicle. However, other than that, there is no direct evidence of the project's true status. Beyond tantalizing information like this, other evidence could include direct observations of Aurora. The most well-known sighting of this aircraft was in August 1989, when oil exploration engineer Chris Gibson spotted a triangular plane over the North Sea. Additionally, there have been reports of skyquakes heard over Los Angeles since the early 1990s. These are believed to be coming from the secret Area 51 installation in the Nevada desert and could serve as additional evidence of some new high-tech secretive project in development. Other indirect evidence comes from what is hidden in plain sight within U.S. budget releases. This evidence of 20 years of examining budget holes, unexplained sonic booms, plus the Gibson sighting helps establish the program's initial existence, explained renowned aviation writer Bill Sweetman in 2006. Perhaps it was a prototype, or maybe the technology finally fixed the flaws that allowed it to be detected, and today it's up there completely invisible. Well, let you decide for yourself. But hold on to your hat, because we're about to go even more crazy. Last on our list is the TR-3B Black Manta. This aircraft is supposedly powered by a reverse-engineered anti-gravity drive that was recovered from a crashed alien spacecraft. The TR-3B is where reports of UAP, performing seemingly impossible aerial maneuvers, intersect with stories about very real aircraft. There are lots of claims all over the internet about the TR-3B's anti-gravity drive, most of which include using nuclear power to rotate highly pressurized mercury to produce plasma and in turn, a gravitational field. Most stories about the TR-3B's development revolve around Operation Paperclip, the program that saw the United States absorb more than 1,500 German scientists and engineers at the end of World War II to continue work on various defense technologies. Despite how silly these claims sound, there is actually some evidence to substantiate elements of them. For example, an anti-gravity drive of the type that the TR-3B's believers claim would require massive amounts of power generation, more than we could possibly produce with current aviation engines. But then, Lockheed Martin does have a patent for containerized cold fusion reactors they say could be small enough to fit inside the fuselage of an F-16. But that's only the beginning. In 2020, the US Navy filed a series of extremely unusual new patents pertaining to the sort of seemingly science fiction technology found in claims about the TR-3B. These patents cover a wide range of topics from gravitational wave generators to space-time modification weapons. If that wasn't shocking enough, here's how a Navy PowerPoint slide labeled "For internal use only" explains the implications of this technology as revealed by a Freedom of Information Act request filed by the war zone. In terms of real-life sightings attributed to the TR-3B, one of the most famous is the Belgian UFO wave, which began in November 1989. The events of the 29th of November were documented by over 30 different groups of witnesses and 3 separate groups of police officers. All of the reports related to a large object flying at a low altitude. The craft was flat and triangular, with lights underneath. This giant craft did not make a sound as it slowly moved across the landscape of Belgium. Most witnesses reported that the objects were silent. This report argues that the lack of noise could be due to the engine noise in the witnesses' automobiles or the strong natural wind blowing away from the witnesses. Black triangle UFOs have been claimed to be visible to radar. During this UFO wave, 2 Belgian Air Force F-16s attempted to intercept an object detected by radar, but the pilots did not report seeing an object. This entire Belgian UFO wave, however, has been disputed by skeptics. And what do you think of these aircraft? Which one do you think is real? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos. And thanks for watching.